Happy Friday. Welcome to a new episode of Unspoken Truth Podcast. I'm your host, Denise. What's up? What you got going on? I hope everybody is well. I hope everybody's week was productive and positive. All right, we just gonna jump right into it because this episode got me feeling some type of way, but I'm real passionate about certain things, and this just so happens to be one of them. Um, I'm a person that just like to dig, and you know, I question everything. Put it that way, okay? Tonight's topic and episode is on missing persons. I would have rather said people, but that didn't sound too hot, so yeah, let's just jump right into it. Missing persons. This particular topic, I mean, it grinds my gears. It do something to me because I'm a woman first, but then I'm a mother directly after. Okay. Um, there is been a problem in this country for a long time with respect to missing people, kidnappings, abductions, things of that nature. Um, More so now, I feel like we got all these different platforms and sites, if you will, to share information and expose certain things that probably has been going on, but we ain't had no way to share it. It wasn't too many people that was coming forward that was willing to share or talk about what they knew or what they was privy to information wise. Okay, so I traveled down the rabbit hole a little bit, if you will, in particular about this because what I noticed in the state that I'm in and from, um, it has been one person after another, sometimes four, five, six different people in one day. Like, to me, and I am probably one of many from one of the most poverty stricken neighborhoods in my city. Okay? I said that to say that this is alarming. Even from where I'm from, the slums, the mud, the gutter, if you will. Okay? This is alarming how many people on a constant basis that myself and a lot of people in the city is on a mission to try to, be a voice for people who just may not have enough courage or enough strength to have a voice for themselves. Okay? I'm constantly posting missing people, whether it's a man, woman, or a child. It doesn't matter. That has nothing to do with a person disappearing and the world just going on like nothing happened. That is very bizarre to me as a person, because no matter what somebody going through or what the circumstances may have been that led to this person disappearing or never being heard or seen from again, that don't matter. That's another human being. That's a life. How is it that this amount of people have gone missing over the last several years and the world is just moving like nothing is going on around us? It ain't no alarm being set off. It ain't no bell being rung. It ain't no outrage or outpour from the communities or the world. I don't know. I don't see it. I'm not saying there is not people out here that's working behind the scenes, that's trying to get to the bottom of some of these cases. But I'm going to tell you, we going to always talk numbers. And I'm not talking about what somebody told me. No, I actually do my homework when I do episodes, okay? When I have topics, especially ones of this magnitude, okay? So let's just start with numbers because I'm a numbers person. And part of my platform is truth. Not what we believe, but what we have figured out is a fact. Okay? So let's talk numbers. Each year, here in the U.S., 600,000 people are reported missing every year. Okay? I said 600,000 people. That's alarming. And I don't even really believe that number. I'm going to be honest with you, because what happened to the people who didn't get reported? What happened to the people whose cases didn't even get no media coverage? Well, if don't nobody know about it, then how can we help? How can it be an issue that needs to be solved by them or us or just the collective? How? If we don't know nothing about it. So, I'm going to go a step further with the point that I'm trying to make with this. I went on the missing and exploited website, okay? Because these are entities that's been set up by the government, okay? I have to be careful what I say, okay? Because I don't want them to ban my episode or even deactivate my page. But again, my whole point in being here on any of the nights that I spend my time with y'all is for us to talk about truth, whether it's hard to hear and digest or not, okay? On this website, just for the state that I'm in alone, right now, currently, there are over 1,800 people being looked for, supposedly. Okay? Meaning somebody in their family or somebody that they know has filed a missing persons police report. Okay? Because maybe a welfare check was done and they showed up and that person wasn't there and it don't look like, they coming back. As I'm on there scrolling on this website, I see pictures of different people who've been reported missing. But the one thing that stood out like a sore thumb to me was the people who was reported missing that there was no picture. How in the world am I supposed to believe that you looking for this person, that this person's life matter, that this is somebody's child, a loved one, a family member, or whatever, and I don't even have a picture of what this person look like? So how am I supposed to look for them? How am I supposed to tell you if I seen them? Now, I'm not blaming the person who created the site. I'm just simply saying that stood out to me as a parent myself. Hold on. If I filed the missing persons police report, I would imagine that you asked something about a picture of this person, an item that this person may have had, toothbrush, something that is going to help you investigate, right? I mean, this just logical, okay? Just like anything else should be, okay? I said all of that to say, if there is currently 1,800 people reported missing in this state, I'm not sure if that's collective with all the cities, the state as a whole. I don't know. I'm just going by what this website said. How many of that 1,800 has been located? Because that's my next go-to after that. When you tell me that many people is missing, men, women, and children, the first thing I think is, how in the world is we supposed to know about 1,800 people? Because the news ain't gonna report it. Yeah, some of them, when they family members make enough noise, when they family members keep making phone calls, keep showing up to police stations, then you may get something. But I said all of that to say that with that amount of people being missing currently right now, do y'all realize that only a third of those 1,800 would ever have an Amber Alert put out? Because we got to talk about that too. What's an Amber Alert? Who it was created for? What purpose does it serve? And I'm gonna say, and I am in no shape, form, or fashion racist. But I gotta tell you that the Amber Alert system wasn't created for black and brown kids or people. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just simply telling you, it was not created for that. For us. It wasn't. Now, are certain states utilizing it? I hope to God they are. I've seen it. Even in my own state, I've seen it in other states. Yes, some people will just step right on over that and be like, If y'all created this solely for us to help find somebody, then what difference do it matter what color they is? What religion they is? What ethnic background they come from? What difference do any of that matter when a person's life is at stake? What difference do that make? Because I don't see what difference any of that makes. I don't understand why that's even a discussion, why that's an issue. But these are things that I'm simply just pointing out. I'm not telling nobody to believe or think nothing like what I'm saying. I'm just simply giving the information and allowing people to go do their own homework and research on what we talking about. Okay? This website also talked about 4,400 unidentified bodies are recovered yearly. So remember, I just said it's currently 1,800 people missing in my state. Is 4,400 supposed to be for all 50 states? Is that what you want me to believe? When I just told you that over 600,000 people get reported missing a year, you finna tell me that only out of the 600,000 people, y'all only done found 4,400? Is y'all listening? Okay. I'm about to give you another example on how they piss on us and tell us that it's raining. And if you don't got a mind or a thought process for yourself to be a critical thinker and be able to think outside of what somebody tell you, here go the numbers again. 2020 was the beginning of the pandemic, right? COVID. Over 500,000 people went missing that year. 500,000, I said. This is 5 years later. You mean to tell me that 500,000 people went missing 5 years ago, and that number is still the same today, 5 years later? I don't think so, baby. I don't think so. And the numbers ain't got nothing to do with the pandemic. This is an issue that we done had as a country for a long time. 50 years, 100 years, a long time. Okay? So, yes, we privy to a lot more information now, but that don't change how long stuff been going on right up under our nose, right in our backyards, right in our neighborhoods. Okay? Let's keep it moving. I want to go back a little bit because we talking current numbers right now. I posted, if you follow my Instagram, on my story, I posted. This was yesterday. Because what I'm going to start doing is posting little short videos to kind of break the ice with the topics that we going to discuss. Especially when I don't have a guest. Okay? The reason I'm doing that is to kind of get people ready, geared up for what we going to discuss instead of me expecting people to walk in with conversation. Okay? I posted a video about CPS, Child Protective Services. Okay? And it talked about an act that was signed off on in 1997 by Bill and Hillary Clinton. Okay? You have to go back and do your own research. I'm just gearing you up for what we discussing because I said this has been going on for quite some time, but this is just going to give you a little insight. That bill was signed in 1997. Okay? In 2 years, that'll be 30 years ago. I'm a numbers person. I'm giving you numbers. That act was signed by the president at that time. Why? What does it mean? Okay? Let me break it down for you. It's called the Adoption and Safe Families Act. Okay? Just so you know, so when you going back doing your homework, you trying to figure out if what I'm telling you is what I said. Because I like for people to do their homework and research and whatever else they need to, okay? Because I'm not here to steer my people or nobody in the wrong direction, okay? 1997 was signed by Bill Clinton. Adoption and Safe Families Act. What that meant was CPS, Child and Protective Services, was giving loans and grant money, funding from the government to remove a certain percentage of children from their paternal parents. Yes, that's, you heard me. They have a quota, if you will, about how many kids they're going to try to get in possession of so that they can send them through the adoption process. Why is this important? Think about it. I know here in my state, hey, there's one particular building that houses all the kids that's looking for parents and housing. It ain't no room, okay? There's no room. These kids are sleeping on the floor. There ain't no more just getting cots or beds or bunk beds or whatever for them. No, these kids are sleeping on the floor. That's how many kids is there that need to be placed. Well, what occurred that warranted these kids to be removed from the parents that they was birthed to? Let me repeat that. What happened? What happened with the parents that made them show up and remove these kids? Now, I'm going to give you a couple of examples. I'm an 80s baby, okay? Which means that was one of the worst drug addict, addicted, crack era of all time, okay? I said that to say that it's crazy. I said that to say that there is a whole era of people whose identity was solely drug use. Why am I saying that? I'm saying that because those same drug abusers still had children. Okay? A lot of us are from drug addicted parents. That's what happened. They utilized the fact that they came and corrupted our neighborhoods and our communities with drugs, and then used that same excuse for why they was coming to remove the kids from the household. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm just telling you the truth. Okay? It has never been about what they said it was about. Because some of these kids ain't nothing going on in their house. Their parents are just choosing a different route than what society has set up for us to go by. A standard, a code, if you will. Society didn't already created that for a lot of us. And some of us live by that. Those type of people, I would say, you're not a critical thinker. You don't have a mind of your own to think, hey, just because the people before me walked that path, just because the people before me did it that way, don't mean that I have to. Don't mean that that's a path or a journey that I have to walk. And that's okay. Okay, let's get back to it. Out of these amounts of people that go missing every year, children and teenagers make up about 35%. Guess who make up the biggest percentage out of 600,000? Because I'm sorry, I just don't believe that number no more. Where they got the number from, who recorded it, That number is, I don't believe it. That's just me. Okay, 65% of that is adults. So not only are our children being snatched up, so are the parents. So I also want you to go to my Instagram. If you get a chance, I'm going to repost it again after tonight's episode, and just watch this episode, this short video of a former CIA agent talking about people who were solely created to breed. What does that mean? That means that they don't have a purpose. Their life will not be documented in no shape, form, or fashion. What do I mean by that? They don't have a birth certificate. They don't have a social security card. They don't have an identity outside of them birthing children that also come with no documentation. But I want you to watch the video of him talking about how trafficking has become a billion and trillion dollar industry. Okay? And how it started and how they go about it. Because this is important. Don't just go by what I'm saying. You got people out here actually risking their life trying to tell you what be going on behind the scenes. That's important for anybody. I don't care where you at, or how you grew up, or what traditions your family practice. No, what's happening around us currently right now is something that is affecting everybody as a whole, a collective, humanity. Some will continue to stay asleep. I can't do nothing about that. All I can do is put the information out here and allow you to sift through it and take what resonates and dispose of the rest. That's it. That's all any of us can do with any information. Okay, let's keep it moving. This right here tripped me out. It said Alaska has the highest rate of missing persons. Alaska? Alaska? Now, I don't know how true that is. I do know somebody that actually lived there. That's a person as soon as I see her. The next time I see her, I got to hop in her stream and have a conversation with her. And find out if some of this information is true or false. Okay? All right, let's keep it moving. As of October 2025, that's the month we currently in right now, 87,000 people have been reported missing thus far. So I'm not saying up to October. No, I'm saying in October. These numbers is staggering. It makes me uneasy. It makes me angry. It makes me frustrated that this amount of stuff could be going on across the globe and we all just sitting here still doing our regular daily routines. Until it hit home, right? I'm just saying, till it's one of your peoples. Because unfortunately, I know people personally whose kids then went missing. I'll give you one better. The biggest missing person story in my city was over a decade ago. Shoot, it might even be 20 years ago at this point, because they was missing for a decade. Missing for 10 years. Just so happened, one of them ended up getting loose from however they had them, in bondage. Because that's what I would call that. You got somebody as a prisoner for a decade. Oh yeah, you chains, cuffs. But somehow she managed to get out. and somebody seen her. Somebody seen her. Somebody seen her trying to break out of this door of this house. Now, mind you, they have been holding vigils for these girls for a decade. One of the girls' parents then passed away in the process of this 10 years that they was looking for her. In the same vicinity where she was at. This man had raped, beat, abused, impregnated all of them. By the grace of God, they was able to walk away alive. But imagine the massive amounts of people who don't. I'll give you another case about the same length of time as that one. Anthony Sowell, one of the biggest known serial killers of all time. 11 bodies they discovered in his house, and walls, in the backyard, in the ground, and buckets. Imagine them 11 women, because they was all women. It was somebody's people, somebody's mother, somebody's daughter, somebody's sister, somebody's grandmother, somebody's auntie. Imagine. And that's why I'm so passionate about this particular subject, because I don't understand why the world is not in an outrage. Because every day I am posting somebody's missing family member. And I'm just trying to figure out, like, when is we going to snap out of this shit? You know, I hear people be talking about, oh, well, they was grown. Or they was trying to be grown. Or they ran away. Hey, I want you to consider that perhaps their parents weren't treating them right, and that's what made them leave. But that don't mean because that's the reason why they not where they live, that don't mean we supposed to go look for them. It doesn't hit until it hits home. I know. Mm-hmm. But that's called programming and indoctrination. That's what that's called. And that's part of the problem. That's why we no longer looking after each other no more. Because that was a thing when I was growing up. I remember people telling on me and walking me home. Yeah. And it wasn't no, you don't tell my kid, or you don't worry about my kid, try to discipline my kid. No, it wasn't none of that. No. And perhaps that's something we need to get back to. Because who the hell told us that wasn't beneficial to us as a whole to begin with? You're not going to be able to be everywhere all the time. It's impossible. It's impossible. I guess I do need somebody that's going to be able to be my eyes and ears when I can't. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, ma'am, and yes, sir. Yes, I do. But I also want people to understand that a majority of people that go missing, it ain't from no stranger. It's not. It's not. It's somebody that they trusted and somebody that they knew. This is why we're going to have to change some of the things that we teaching and putting down out here to our kids. Because eventually those kids become adults. A lot of us are still carrying stuff that we was taught when we was kids. Right now, today, as a grown-up. Some of it is good for us and some of it ain't. I start with saying, all of us, anybody who is my age, from about 30 to my age right now, or no, from about 30 to about 50, All of us got taught the same thing. All of us. Stranger danger. Right? Me personally, I do not feel like that's effective. Why? Because most of the stuff that's going on with our children and our family members, it ain't from no stranger, baby. It's not. We shouldn't even be focused on whether or not it's a stranger or not. No, we need to be focused on the behavior of the person. Whether they're a stranger or somebody we know, what difference do that make? It's the behavior that we should be teaching our kids to pay attention to. Because most kids know the difference between nurturing and loving on them versus disrespecting, abusing, and mistreating them. They know the difference. Let's keep in mind that they one of the most intelligent species on the planet. That's why it's so disheartening to see how many kids is actually coming up missing on a regular basis. And the most somebody gonna say is, well, they was out here trying to do this and do that. I want you to know, man, we spent way too much time down talking, downgrading, tearing down, and just not being supportive of these kids, man. We have no idea what kind of lives that they living at home. You got a lot of abusive parents too. Physically, emotionally, verbally, sexually. You don't know what a child is dealing with. Maybe they finally got the courage to just be like, you know what? I have to get out of here. And that's even more disheartening to know that you're willing to go out in a world that you know ain't safe. Just for you to escape a world that still wasn't safe. My God. And we out here talking, oh, well, if she wouldn't have took off, oh, well, if she won't keep trying to be grown, oh, well, she won't hang. Hey, no, we need to spend way more time discussing what's going on at home while you can't seem to feel comfortable or safe there. That's more important than what led you to do it. Ultimately leave. Some of these kids leaving trying to escape worlds and then walking right into another world that ain't safe. And a lot of them ain't returning home. Do y'all get that? A little girl by the name of Shakira Johnson. This was another big case. My city has had so many major cases when it comes to missing people. It's national news. Little girl go missing, walking to the store. Never to be seen again, man. Body found in a empty field. A person was picked up, questioned and everything, but never charged. This 20 years later. So I have absolutely been in a position in my life to see all of these different cases unfold right here in front of my eyes in my city. And she wasn't the only one. Because now we got a whole system set up. Supposedly. Because it was another little girl went missing in the same, not too far, in the same vicinity as the little girl I just talked about. Now, the public school system is supposed to report when kids are absent from school. They're supposed to call. Whatever number that's listed. But then we got to also keep in mind we got a lot of parents that's not being parents. They something go on with your child, they go look something up in the record. It ain't even no phone number listed for you. How am I supposed to let you know what's going on with your child and you won't even be an adult and do the right thing to make sure that I got proper information to be able to reach out to you when something happens? Say your child is ill or something happened to them, they play sports and they got hurt or whatever. I'm just using all those as examples. And then I go to pull up your record in the system and ain't no phone number for me to call nobody. Then what? At that point, I have to be an adult. What would I do if this was my child? How would I handle the situation? At that point, I have to be the parent. You do realize that the paperwork and stuff that you fill out for your kids when you sign them up for school, that's giving them direct permission to treat themselves as the parent of your child. Yeah, you heard me. But somehow we these are people that we trust in. How do you trust somebody? How do you trust somebody with your kid? And not be putting in the time that's required, that's necessary to pour into them for them to be whole, for them to be um, a positive contribution to society. When you ain't even got yourself together as a mother or a father. I will tell you as a parent, choosing to delay working on yourself and then having kids on top of that is one of the biggest mistakes that I ever made. I'm not talking about being their mother. I'm talking about not choosing myself before I became their mother. Trying to work on myself and raise them at the same time is one of the hardest jobs I've ever had in my life with no compensation for real. Yeah, it's reward and seeing them grow. Yeah, I'm talking about with self. Let's remove the kids because those are decisions and choices you made to create them to bring them here. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about you. Your mental, your emotional. Listen here, man. I am still working on damage that was done before my kids was even thought of. Right now, today. This is why I tell young folks before they even think about becoming somebody's mama or somebody's daddy, hey man, you better make sure you all right first. You better make sure you healed already. You better make sure you willing to grow. Because being a parent is going to require you to sacrifice a whole lot of stuff. And there's some selfish people in this world. I'll be the first to admit, having kids is not for everybody. Although a lot of people can create them, everybody shouldn't be no parent. Don't shoot the messenger again. I'm just telling you how I feel about it. Some people should not be privy to be able to be or have that much responsibility over somebody else's life. The hell, they ain't got enough responsibility over their own life. But yet, you've created life. You've already brought these people here. And what that does when you choose not to work on yourself first before you have kids, you make their childhood be hard. And it ain't necessarily intentional. I said at the beginning of this, I'm a woman first and then a mother directly after. That's a fact. But I know because of the damage and the trauma and the stuff that I went through before my kids was even breathing, caused me to not be the kind of mother that I wished I was. Does that make sense? I'm not saying that I wasn't loving on them. I'm not saying I wasn't there for. I'm not saying that. I'm simply saying that I was too knee deep in my own shit to show up as the version of a mother that they deserved. That's why that's important for you to make sure that you intact mentally, emotionally, and physically before you even think about bringing somebody to this world. Because there's more to it than you laying with somebody and y'all going through the motions and then this life is created and then you give birth. No, it's way more to it than that. And some people was just not equipped, whether it be mentally or emotionally, to withstand the responsibility, the pressure, if you will, that's associated with being a parent. And it's even more pressure when you're doing it by yourself. And I believe that the reason why a lot of people don't end up raising their kids with somebody else is because it's directly connected and rooted in whatever stuff they ain't work on before they even became a parent. That caused them to make bad choices with perhaps who they made the children with. That's something to think about, okay? We gonna keep it moving, all right? All right. Government child trafficking is practiced in all 50 states. Okay? It's not just the CPS workers. It's also the judges. It's also the prosecutors. It's also the doctors. It's also the school system. It's also the judicial system. It is layers to this thing. Okay? This is why it's been able to withstand over 50 years plus, and ain't nobody did nothing. This is why we seeing a major like exposure with people who done got away with trafficking for a long time, many years of getting away with it. That's why we starting to see a lot of them get exposed. I'm going to just tell you, and you can go do your homework, the colonel of the military. I have to go back and look his name up, but just do your homework on the colonel of the military. He has held this position since the 40s or 50s. Don't quote me. But when you go look this information up, you will see that he has been questioned at least 4 or 5 times with respect to trafficking. Okay? I said the colonel. Imagine all the things that he didn't turn the cheek to or look the other way about, and he hold one of the highest ranks in the military. I said the colonel. I don't want y'all to be naive about who all in on this shit. Because I'm going to tell you, it's way more entities and people involved than you could ever imagine, man. And that's why this is such a big thing. I said this is a $1 trillion industry. This is how they was able to create the black market to begin with. Yes, organs and people. Again, you don't got to take my word for it. All you got to do is just go do your homework. Stop being scared to find out somebody else's perspective. Because all of this information that we are so privy to share with each other is still coming from somebody else's perspective. Know that. Before you even go jumping out of a window or go digging down the rabbit hole or whatever. Know that. And it's okay for somebody else to have their own perspective. It's what you do with the information that you get is what ultimately is going to be the deciding factor with what you end up believing versus what you won't believe. Okay? And it's hard. It's hard. It's hard when you start seeing stuff for what it is. It's hard. I'm not about to tell you that going down this path or looking into this is not going to be hard. It is. It's going to be hard. And quite frankly, it might even make you sick to your stomach. When you start realizing how deep and in depth that this actually goes. Some of us is still so stuck on the surface that you, boy, oh boy, you have no idea. You have no idea. We in trouble, y'all. I'm going to just go ahead and say it before I get up out of here. We are in trouble. Yes, I'm talking about me, you, all of us. We are in trouble. Humanity. In so many different ways. This right here just so happens to be the biggest one I think is the most important right now. But wait till you tune in on Tuesday and you find out what the other biggest problem is. That could clearly change the world forever. And once that type of stuff happen, we can't go back. You can't go back to what it was before. This is why it's important for all of us to wake up, man. For us to stop letting them poison our thoughts with what we believe is the real problem versus what the real problem is. We in danger. Everybody. Man, woman, or child, we in danger. Our safety has been at risk. It's destroyed. It's damn near non-existent at this point. Our privacy don't exist no more. Some of our rights is being snatched from right up underneath us, and the world is steady moving. Nobody's angry. Nobody's frustrated. Me personally, I'm not saying violence is the correct answer for everything, but hey, man, there's a reason to be in the uproar. I ain't saying destroying your communities, but this is a reason for us to be out here screaming and hollering. This is a reason for us to be creating neighborhood watches again, so we can make sure that these ill people, these pedophiles, these predators don't get a chance to get comfortable in our neighborhoods. They don't get a chance to find a home in our communities. They not welcome. Because ain't no way I'm gonna have to watch you and this person and that person and about 5 of y'all in the neighborhood. But I only got a flyer about one of y'all. We in trouble, man. Where is just the regular, normal, common decency for the next human being at? Where is it at? I'm going to say for some people, maybe it don't exist no more. And if that's you, I am so sorry that you feel like that. But I'm telling you, I'm over it. I'm over it. If you gonna shun me, if you gonna come after me for me doing what I feel like any normal human being should do for the next person, you ain't gotta know me. We ain't gotta be friends. If I see some old weird, crazy stuff going on near your house, at your house, and I know for a fact that it's not you or nobody that live in that house, oh yeah, I'm subject to make a phone call. I ain't finna sit here and lie to you and tell you that I ain't know. That could be somebody's life or death. See, the problem is we spend too much time being scared to just speak about what we see going on around us. That's a problem for me. This is why they able to get this shit off. Because they know that I ain't got nothing to say. I ain't see nothing. That shit has destroyed our neighborhoods. It has destroyed our families. Our households are no longer safe because you's too busy worried about if somebody about to come after you because you seen something. Hey, I don't think nobody woke up saying, you know what? I just want to be able to see the most horrific, horrendous stuff today. And when somebody come ask me about it, I ain't going to speak on it. I don't know nobody who woke up saying or thinking nothing like that, okay? So if you just so happen to see something strange or don't look right, or even somebody in danger, for God's sake, can you get over yourself enough to do the right thing so you can help somebody? I don't see how hard that is. Now, is you going to be able to save everybody? Absolutely not. But the least that you can do is get out your own way so you can help somebody when they do need your help. Because clearly 1,800 people being missing right now is extreme to me. One person being missing is extreme. 5 people missing is extreme to me. Why? Because that's somebody's family. That's somebody's mama, somebody's daddy, somebody's auntie, somebody's uncle, somebody's son, somebody's daughter, somebody's auntie. What is going? Somebody's child. Somebody's loved one. Why is this so hard? For us to care enough about somebody else besides ourselves. If we want to see change, then we're going to have to become the change. It is no other way possible for it to happen. If we want our kids to get themselves together, then we're going to have to start creating spaces and environments for them to be able to talk to us about what they going through on their level. Not on our level, but on their level. Because they have a series of things that they dealing with just on their level as being a teenager or adolescent or just a child, period. Can we just stop assuming that, oh, they just acting out and they for no reason? It's never nothing done for no reason, okay? Please talk to your kids. Please start showing them and helping them be equipped enough to be able to fend for themselves if something go left. I'm a firm believer that all people, man, woman, and child, should be able to bear arms. What I'm not a fan of is those arms being put in the hands of the wrong people. And hell, that could be an officer. I think that there is some type of mental evaluation that should have to take place in order for people to even be able to bear arms. Because one of the biggest issues in this world is the mental health crisis. So now you're going to mix that with ammo and a gun, and what you think going to happen? I hope somebody got something out of this. Please share, like, tell somebody. Go back and watch it if you missed it. This is important, man. This is a state of emergency. If ain't nobody else gonna say it, I am. We are in a state of emergency. The world, humanity. If you don't believe me, then just keep standing around and not doing nothing or acting like nothing matters. Most of it ain't gonna matter until it hit home. Don't let it be your home that it hit before it start to matter. I love y'all. I appreciate everybody that tapped in, chimed in, commented, liked, shared. Hey. This episode don't open up your mind or get you to think outside the box. I don't know. Pay attention to your kids, for starters. I don't care how old they are. When something seems strange or abnormal or out of sorts, it's probably because it is. I've been told that being a nosy parent was a bad thing, but I'm going to tell you, hey, getting them kids phones. You paying the bill anyway. You bought the phone. Getting them kids phones. Go through their text threads. Because it's a lot of challenges out here. I don't know if y'all aware, TikTok got these kids out here wilding. Okay? There was a challenge a few years back, and I probably wouldn't have known if my kids wouldn't have told me. They were still in school at the time, the two youngest anyway. It was a challenge where the kid was disappearing, perhaps to a friend's house or whatever, to induce panic with the parent so they can get likes or views or follows. Hey, let me tell you something, man. Y'all kids better quit playing games with y'all parents, man. Stop being a follower and learn how to become a leader. Don't be out here doing no crazy challenge like that, inducing panic with your parents, and then they mess around and they got health issues already. Now you done caused them to have a heart attack because you trying to keep up with some stupid challenge. I love y'all, man. It is so much going on in the world. We just got to be more vocal and more aware about all the stuff that's going on that's going to ultimately impact everybody. Make sure y'all tune in Tuesday for a new mini episode of Unspoken Truth Podcast. Until then, I'm your host, Tanise. Peace.